Hello, my name's Darren Edwards and I'd like to welcome you to the 12 Days of Christmas SharePoint 2013. Brought to you by ImageFast, a Microsoft Gold partner focused on helping organisations manage their documents and information more effectively. Today is the final day, day 12, and today we're going to be looking at using SharePoint as an ECM solution. Lots of organisations have realised the value in SharePoint is when they extend the SharePoint platform, so they're not just using it as a central collaborative and a tool for developing intranets, but they're actually building business applications into the SharePoint environment. Clearly, to do this, you need to use a range of some of the features that we've talked about in the 12 days of Christmas, such as the business intelligence, the ability to collaborate on documents, the workflow. But really, the benefit that organisations are getting is as they're really now starting to see SharePoint as a central portal for all of their business processing. Today, we're going to look at what you actually need to do to extend this out, because SharePoint alone, although it provides lots of the key functionality, isn't quite enough when you're looking at true enterprise business-wide applications. To help organisations understand how they can actually build ECM type solutions in SharePoint, ImageFast have identified three key areas that needs to be looked at by any organisation who is interested in using SharePoint to manage their business processes or for an ECM solution. And what we've actually done is create something called the SharePoint for ECM Blueprint, which actually guides an organisation through all of the considerations they need to make. And what I'm actually going to do in the next minute or so is just take you through each of these three layers. So the first layer is what we classify as the SharePoint features. So these are the features that SharePoint provides out of the box. So it has things like document management with its managed metadata and the ability to add things like document sets and so on. You have records management capabilities, which lots of organisations need for compliance. Collaboration, a way of sharing and saving documents so you can work within your teams or your projects, get access to the information when and how you want it. Search, which is obviously key in terms of finding information. From a user point of view, Office integration is also very key in terms of making sure that people are using the applications that they're used to. And finally, business intelligence. We've done a whole topic on this in one of the 12 days of Christmas. But business intelligence is really, once you've got all your information under control, how do you make business value out of it? How do you know what you've got and so on? And this is where business intelligence comes in. So if you look at this, Microsoft just by default provides you with all of the basis that you would actually need for an ECM solution. Unfortunately, in some of the key areas, you actually do need to add in different options to be able to make true enterprise class ECM solutions. So the second layer is what we refer to as third-party applications. So this is areas where we've identified that you actually need to getting a third-party application to really help grow your SharePoint platform. So just looking at some of them that we have, obviously the workflow. So there's standard workflow within SharePoint, and in 2013 is a lot better than in previous versions. However, if you require true enterprise workflow with lots of processes going on at one time, the ability to route documents from different processes and so on, then really you need to look at a different workflow product such as K2 or Nintex. You also have things like scanning and data capture. So this is how you actually, still scan paper documents to get them into SharePoint. So obviously with things like ReadSoft and Kofax, they give you the ability to scan straight into SharePoint and capture all of your information. Digital signatures is again another big topic in terms of the ability to actually sign off documents electronically so people know that's what you've done. And yes, you were happy, with a revision or something like that, a contract, for example. You also need email integration. Now, although you can obviously use email integration out of the box, the ability to drag and drop an email from Outlook into SharePoint doesn't exist without using a third-party application. So again, tools such as MacReview play in this space and really add to the user interface in terms of any applications that you might be developing on SharePoint. We also have optimization and data management, which is really, and also the systems management, and these are really about how do you manage your information when you've got it in there. One of the key things is in SharePoint is ensuring that you create the right performance so the application's running quick enough, and by using some third-party tools it gives you the ability to manage that information a lot easier. The final layer that we're going to talk about is business considerations. In here, these are all the things that as an organisation you need to think about as you're planning your SharePoint for ECM business process applications on SharePoint. So the first one we're going to actually look at is information architecture. So this is really just about how you save your documents, how you classify all of your content and so on. And in traditional document management systems, it's generally been a big bucket approach where you throw the document in and the system will look after it. In SharePoint, it needs a bit more consideration. So you need to carefully plan the architecture and carefully plan how the information is going to sit in SharePoint. Firstly, from a performance point of view, ensuring that you're getting the performance that you want, but also from a way of searching and navigating around, making it easier for people to find the information wherever and when they want it. Governance is obviously a key area that lots of people look at, and again, governance here is really all about making sure that you don't open your SharePoint platform out too much to allow people to do what they want. You need some rules around where they should put documents. How do they create a new site in SharePoint? How do they create a new project? Because you don't want to end up with a SharePoint system that's out of control. Adoption is another key area in terms of getting users onto the system and make sure they can use it in a good way. And also things such as application integration, so actually linking several applications together, putting a line of business systems, linking them in so you can use them as part of your business processes. Capacity planning is obviously another key area in terms of making sure that as you move people onto the SharePoint platform, you're starting to use business applications, you have the capacity, obviously from an IT, but also from performance, to be able to grow the platform as you require. And then finally, it's migrations and updates. And this is really all around how do you migrate information into the platform, how do you get from, for instance, an old document management system, how do you get that information out and into the SharePoint platform so you can use it. And finally, obviously, there is the upgrades component. So this is looking at how do you upgrade to later versions, to new patch releases and so on. So these are all considerations that you really need to think about as an organisation. And if you are interested, we do have the SharePoint for ECM Blueprint white paper that's available from our website at www.imagefast.co.uk, which gives you a lot more information into some of the topics that I've been talking about today. So hopefully that's given you a good overview of all the things you need to consider if you're going to use SharePoint for an ECM platform or for developing business processes. What I'd like to do now is just, first of all, thank you for listening. We've been through the 12 days of Christmas, SharePoint 2013. We've talked about what SharePoint 2013 is all about. We've been through lots of the features such as search, shredded storage, business intelligence. We've looked at how you can expand the platform with third-party applications from the SharePoint App Store. How you can add in things like the mobile devices and using, again, third-party applications to extend the functionality that they have in these areas. So hopefully it's given you a good insight into SharePoint as a platform, and specifically SharePoint 2013 and what it can do for you as an organisation. If you are interested in any more information on any of these topics, please come to our website at www.imagefast.co.uk, where you'll find lots of information and white papers around some of the topics that we've been talking about. Otherwise, please feel free to contact us. If there's anything specifically you want to know, we'd be more than happy to help you with that. So, on behalf of myself, Ricardo Manuel and Mark Haverty, who've been doing the SharePoint 2013 12 Days of Christmas, I'd like to thank you all for listening. I hope you found the series useful, and I'd like to finish off by wishing you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.